From the DE Turf in the heart of Delaware, we welcome you to the USA Lacrosse Youth Nationals on Lacrosse TV. Our doubleheader of championship action starts at the 14U level, where the Yellow Jackets battle Mass Elite for a chance to be crowned the champions. Joined alongside Chris Marshall, I'm Johnny Wincott. 24 teams has been whittled down to 2. Both squads unblemished at 5-0, and Chris, they'll compete in their 6th game in just over 30 hours. Whoever wins it will certainly deserve that title.
Yes, certainly. And I think at this part of the tournament, this is where you really start to see the depth of these teams. Anytime you make it to this part of the tournament, you need to have those 4th and 5th scorers, those extra defenders. Even the goalies have seen a lot of rubber at this point. So it's a bit of a war of attrition. But this is the point of the tournament where you really need those role players and those additional scorers to step up to help you win.
Well, we noted 6th game in just over 30 hours. Both of these teams have already played 2 games today. Obviously, both teams winners. Mass Elite, we told you 5-0. Kind of from that New England area, they'll represent Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut on this roster against a Yellow Jacket squad primarily from Long Island. Nothing wrong with a little New York against New England rivalry.
I haven't heard of that one before, I'll tell you what.
Swirling winds today here in the heart of Delaware. It was a 9-8 victory for Mass Elite Red over Steps Elite New Jersey in the semifinal. Really, the Yellow Jackets, the only team that, if you want to call it, coasted today. Well, they've done it. A 4-goal win in the quarterfinal against Orange Crush and a 6-goal victory over Urban Elite in the semifinal. The other 4 games today, all decided by 2 goals or fewer. The only 2 games out of the outlier, the 2 wins by the Yellow Jackets.
Well, I think, too, if you're coaching in games like this and tournaments like this, you know, when are you making the move to pull your starters? How far ahead are you in the games leading up to the championship? Is when you're doing the math, like, more important to keep the consistency and the chemistry going, or to get some rest? It's such like a slippery slope. I'm excited to see how this one turns out.
10 minutes of running time, 4 quarters, and on take number 2. The draw control finally settled. It'll point in the direction of the Yellow Jackets. You can credit the victory to Jen alignment.
Yeah, it looked like they might have left early on that one.
First look at one of the top scoring offenses over the last, we'll call it day and a half. The tournament that started yesterday morning. From the doorstep it goes. Just 48 seconds deep. The Yellow Jackets sting quick. It's 1-0.
Yeah, it looked like Addison Kelly. That's just ball watching on the defensive side. Great, and not a whole lot of opportunity for success for the goalkeeper there. That one's going to find the net a lot of the time. I mean, inside of about 6 or 8 yards there. I mean, that's just good offense.
Yellow Jackets swept their way through the blue division, scored 37 goals, allowed only 5. We did the math for it, just over 12 goals per game in the 3. They allowed fewer than 2 goals per game. They have been one of the better teams in this day-and-a-half scramble.
Yeah, is that good?
Yeah, that'll do. Not a math major, but those numbers are good.
Yeah, I'd say that's a favorable goal differential.
First take now for Mass Elite. Off the draw control victory. Nearly an 80-foot effort. Sails just wide of the cage. It'll be backed up quickly. Just 2 minutes into our opening quarter. Again, 4 10-minute running clock quarters to decide our 14U national champion here in Delaware.
We saw the Yellow Jackets working from behind in their first offensive set. Mass Elite working across the top. Yeah, it looks like they want to play those individual matchups.
Dimnaku in toward goal. She scores. So first shot of the game for Ashley Dimnaku finds twine. And the Wellesley Hills native has tied the game quickly, fewer than 3 minutes into this first quarter.
Well, I think you just see that first step. Once she's able to get past the first defender, she has great body control, staying in front of the second defender who's trying to catch her over the top. Nice little twister. takes the top hand, moves it over to the side, makes it a harder shot to judge for the goalie. It also takes it away from the defender. Excellent ball, body positioning, great shot. That's how you draw it up.
So the Yellow Jackets strike first. Dimnaku has the quick response just fewer than 2 minutes later. And we trade draw controls. This time it goes in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Bouncing ball careens to the back 10. 1v1 battle. It will stay in bounds. Yellow Jackets control. Goal line extended along the near side.
That's a nice stop, too. That one was headed towards the end line. She's able to get a stick on it before it went out. Again, nice shielding body position to keep the defender away.
Mass Elite, much like the Yellow Jackets, swept their way through group play as well. The Green Division, a 3-0 mark, 26 goals in the 3 games. They allowed 15, so the numbers just a little bit lesser than the Yellow Jackets. But again, both teams 5-0. And first defensive turnover is forced here by Mass Elite.
And that was a good cut. Pass was just a little bit behind her, couldn't corral it. Went down, came up red. I think it'll be interesting to see how Mass Elite handles their offense. Really patient in their first offensive set. And going against a team who has scored a ton of goals and hasn't given up very many, I mean, I think it would be advantageous, especially with the running clock, to take as much of the time off as you can in your offensive sets.
Well, after forcing the turnover, Mass Elite transitions through the middle of the field. And some good help there by number 79 and Taylor Thompson. From X to the doorstep, they score. It's a short side effort from close quarters. And back-to-back tallies by Mass Elite.
Yeah, it looked like that was Lana DeRoches who was able to put that one in the net. And you see her right on the crease there, just tiptoeing along the line. Nice handle, taking those championship steps up. That's a really nice play from a young player. She's able to increase her angle, moving up, gets the goalie moving, and then just puts it where she's not. I mean, that's the sort of play you'd expect to see from a high-level player.
Well, not much that Juliet Johnson can do. Netminder from Huntington. And again, Yellow Jackets team represented throughout both counties on Long Island. And another draw control victory here for Mass Elite in search of their first 2-goal lead. 2 tallies from 2 different players. Breaking in, they score again.
And that's just good offense. I mean, they're finding their spots, and they're able to create good shooting lanes, good driving lanes, and finding the back of the net. I mean, you look at that, you bring it across, you catch the streaking player, and she just puts that top shelf. That is one of the hardest saves to make for a goaltender, especially a right-hander. Comes all the way across. She needs to get all the way across her body with the stick. In that tight, that's a very difficult save to make. Excellent cut, excellent pass, even better finish.
So Lydia Kilty makes it a 3-1 game. Now 3 goals by Mass Elite in the first 6.5 minutes from 3 different players, after winning back-to-back draw controls. The all-important center circle here in women's lacrosse. And another one taken by Mass Elite.
Oh, she's got a lane.
Dimnaku with bodies hitting the deck. And a whistle with 3 minutes to play. Again, the clock will continue to tick regardless of score. For 2 of the more talented teams in the 14U landscape, Dimnaku was off and running, and she'll have a chance here off the restart.
Went dead center, you know, in tight here on the free position. This is where you want to be. Oh, big time save.
Johnson able to keep it out. And that is the first save by either netminder here in this first quarter. So instead of a 3-goal cushion for Mass Elite, it stays at 2. And an opportunity now for the Yellow Jackets to make their transition through the middle of the field. That is kept in, only for the moment. We'll see which way it's going. Yeah,
I think maybe I'd like to see her take that 1 step sooner. She cut down her angle a little bit, going to the right side. Obviously, being on the dominant side, gives you a little bit more comfort when you're driving in. But she takes one step in, she's straight on. There's an awful lot of the net that's open there. She just changes the play, and I think she'll have more success on that shot.
Goal for the Yellow Jackets. They turn defense into offense in the blink of an eye. And now you remember that save from Juliet Johnson. Instead of 4-1, now it's 3-2. With just over 100 seconds to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, that's a 2-goal swing. That's a big momentum goal. Straight gas. Just coming downhill, using her frame to hold off the defender. Nice lefty rip. Plenty of juice on that one. That's a really nice shot. And not sure what happened there, but looks like they're going to get the draw here too. A big opportunity to tie this up.
So Molly Hyland tries to kickstart the offense from the center circle. Just over a minute to play in this first quarter.
Yeah, I think
that is about as tight as we expected so far. Again, a spin, angle shot. Did it squeak through? Yes, it did. And with under a minute to play now, back-to-back goals by the Yellow Jackets. It is 3-3.
I'm really impressed with the level from the girls out here today. I mean, that's such a strong spin move. Gets the shot off immediately. I mean, that's something you'd expect to see from Izzy Skane or dating myself a little bit, but maybe like Sam Apuzzo. I mean, it's just you're cutting inside like that. That's elite footwork.
That is the first tally of this 14U championship game for Natalie Yu, the Glenwood Landing, New York native, out of North Shore Middle School. Final 10 seconds. Yellow Jackets buzzing. A little bit of an unsettled defense. They'll have a go at it. They'll score.
Wow, that's such a big time goal. Holy cow.
Yellow Jackets beat the buzzer by 4 seconds. And they take the lead 4-3.
But just the awareness with where the clock is to be able to catch that, spin, switch hands, just put that in the top shelf. I mean, even to get that shot on the cage, that's really good offense, really good awareness. I gotta say, I'm super impressed with the level that we're seeing right now. I mean, great haymakers from these.
The action today for the 2024 USA Lacrosse Youth Nationals at DE Turf. When thinking of your next summer vacation or road trip, we hope you turn moments into memories by visiting pristine beaches, enjoying scenic outdoor adventures, and savory dining throughout our state. Experience endless discoveries in Delaware and begin your next journey at visitdelaware.com. Well, it'll be a somewhat magical journey for one of these two 14U teams. 30 minutes away from hoisting the title, the Yellow Jackets on a 3-0 run to end that first quarter, accentuated by the great tally from Catherine Murphy.
I think if you're Mass Elite, you just gotta go to your game. I think we talked a little bit about in the first quarter, taking some of the air out of the ball, keeping this high-powered Yellow Jacket offense off the field. They've shown that they can score goals. So if they're patient, take some time off the clock and get back on the right side of the ledger, they'll be fine. But both of these teams are really, really talented squads.
First sign of any sort of physical play here comes from Lizzie Hagopian, Garden City native for the Yellow Jackets. And again, you take into account these girls are now playing their 6th game in just over 30 hours. And of course they are young, but you get fatigued after playing that many games in such a short amount of time. The trophy, of course, on the line here for the 14U level as Mass Elite looks to tie things up. Neither team has had more than a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, and I'm expecting this one to stay pretty tight. Obviously, you don't get to this point in the tournament on accident. So both of these teams are deserving of a shot at the championship.
Guilty of the takeaway after it looked like the Yellow Jackets had forced the turnover. And Johnston heads out of her crease to save the day for the defense. Now the Yellow Jackets to try and complete the clear. 90 seconds into the second quarter. Again, if you're just joining us, 4 10-minute quarters. They're all running clock, regardless of score. as opposed to your more orthodox NCAA rules where it has to be a double-digit advantage. It is hot here in the heartland of Delaware as well. Give these girls enough time to have some water and a brief halftime between the second and third quarters.
And looking for some help, not getting a whole lot of it. Got bailed out a little bit with the offensive player going into the crease, but it looked like out and in for the Yellow Jackets there, caused a turnover. So that's good defense across the board.
So it's Maeve O'Reilly off the restart, number 60 in red. And another opportunity here early in the second quarter for Massalit to tie this thing up 4-4. The interior feed in search of Kilty, wound up in the back line of the Yellow Jackets. So take two here in the second quarter, and the Yellow Jackets still struggling to get out of their own end. Millie Bradley angles right and sends it into the back 10.
Well, I think, too, with these longer offensive sets, you keep the defense working. And I think these longer sets are really when you see some of the fatigue set in. And I think you're seeing that with the goalie not being able to find anybody. The players are tired, not able to get free.
Oh, a lengthy possession. Yellow Jackets have possessed, but have kind of been stuck in their own third here in the second quarter. Heavy take, more contact. And official is all over it.
Yeah, so we'll have opportunity here in the corner on the 8.
Dimnaku, who has emerged as one of the stars of this tournament, has tied the game. She winds up inside the crease, and it appears as if the goal is good.
Yeah, and a little earlier shot on this take. Tougher angle, but took that one as soon as she got clear of the defender, and was able to get the shot off. But again, improving her angle on kind of the twister shot, hard to judge by the goalie, and finds the back of the net. I mean, that's exactly how you draw it up.
So we're tied yet again. Clock continues to tick under the 6-minute marker towards our brief halftime. Again, both of these teams 5-0 in this tournament. Winners earlier today in both the quarterfinal and semifinal matchups. Massalit just eking out a pair of 1-goal victories, 8-7 over Mad Dog West Elite, that was quarterfinal, and then 9-8 over Steps Elite New Jersey, that was the semifinal. Massalit on top of another one, this time in the form of Catherine McCool. Take away the back 10. Yellow Jackets can finally get their way across midfield.
I mean, it's always interesting to see the paths, but you look at it, the adage, it's like wins are wins, and all the goals count the same. So it's like if you get to this point, as long as the previous games were W's, that's all that matters.
They've only seen W's on this trip, have both Massalit and the Yellow Jackets. A 24-team field, at least at the 14U level. 6 different divisions. And again, over the course of a day and a half now, whittled down to 2. Yellow Jackets still trying to meander their way into the offensive zone.
We'll see what the Yellow Jackets do here on offense. Obviously, I mean, they just spent a little over 4 minutes on defense. So you'd like to see them take a little bit of extra time here on that possession, give their defense a chance to rest up a little bit.
4-4 game, closing stages of the second quarter. Yellow Jackets scored 3 consecutive to end the first quarter, looking to get back on goal. Here they do. So they end the brief dry spell, and the lead goes back to 5-4.
And that's just really nice movement, and that's a tough shot. You get in you get in tight like that, you see the cutter, and then able to put that one in the back of the net. That's excellent offense. Good handle, great shot.
So first goal of this 14U championship game for Addison Kelly, Kings Park native. You can see on the flags at the far side of the field, swirling winds moving from right to left. Right now that would aid the Yellow Jackets, who have the 1 goal advantage.
And the passes have looked really crisp, despite the wind. Impressive show so far from these squads.
Whistle goes by way of Mass Elite. Again now trailing by 1. Zibnaku couldn't get her way into the offensive zone. Yellow Jackets reverse course quickly against the grain. They'll circle out to the far side and wait for some offensive reinforcements. A lot of Yellow Jackets clubs in this tournament. This team under the guidance of Jen Majette, Albert Alone, Dennis Ferrari. And again, of all 6 games today to happen at the 14U level, the quarterfinal into the semifinal, the only 2 not decided by 2 goals or fewer were both of the wins by the Yellow Jackets, 10-6, 10-4. As you get a good look at Nora Ruddy.
Certainly an impressive run, I think, especially on the defensive side.
Ruddy from the near side scores. She was unguarded from the goal line near side, and she puts it over top the netminder.
I think you see the defender cut in, come for the double, and just excellent awareness coming up from GLE, taking those championship steps once again. These girls are doing a really good job of putting themselves in a position to be successful. I mean, it's the little things that they're doing on offense that are really making the difference. Taking those 2 extra steps to improve the angle, giving a little extra body fake to move the goalie. I mean, these are elite level plays.
So back and forth we go, as we expected here in this 14U championship game. Only one of these teams will be 6-0 and hoist the trophy. The other one will have to settle for 5-1. Swift draw control victory for Mass Elite. And with some numbers right on goal, it won't go. One of Johnson's best of the first half. The Yellow Jackets look to turn it around quick.
Yeah, and Johnson did a great job of keeping her stick high, went low, and then caught the bounce with the stick high. I mean, that's good goalie positioning. Nice defense from Mass Elite coming the other way, too.
Finley Newell slips it inside. This is Keelty. Zigzagging her way into the offensive zone. Looks like she will have a free position opportunity.
Yeah, it looked like a shooting space violation there. She was able to kind of cock back and look like the shot was coming. Defender ran into the lane. Good opportunity here.
Mass Elite trails 6-4. Just under a minute to play in this first half. Keelty was off target. Had some pressure coming from behind. The restart will be in the back 10 for the team in red.
Yeah, you'd like to see the offensive player force the goalie into making a save there.
Final second quarter. Through the spin cycle. Interior feed, wide open. Keelty scores.
Man,
everybody gets the touch from Mass Elite. The offense looked elite. And it's down to a 1-goal game just before the break.
Yeah, and I think you see that coming across. We're seeing the back cuts really break down the defense, and I think you start to see that sort of thing, you know, when fatigue starts to set in, but it's also good offense. Excellent handle to be able to dig that one out, go from low to high, and then tuck that in the corner.
And right off the rim, it's going back with Massalit. So now an opportunity to tie the game before the break. Another shot. It's another goal. Was it Kilty again? 6-6 your score.
I mean, those are such big momentum goals. We've seen it from both teams now. Right at the buzzer. Those are massive, massive goals. I mean, for one, even the score up, but two, you're taking that momentum into the second half, and again, just the awareness of the clock to be able to get that pass and get that shot off so quickly is really impressive.
Maeve O'Reilly, the game tire. It is 6-6. We head to halftime here in Delaware in the 14U championship. I just ran the ad. If you want to take this time to work on... Ooh. We welcome you back to the DE Turf. It's the 14U championship game, and it's a good one. 6-6 your score. He's Chris Marshall. I'm Johnny Wincott. We have had a bevy of good-looking tallies here in the first half.
Yeah, and good offense, too. I think you look at these finishes, they're good finishes. I've been really impressed with the shot selection, the shot placement, and especially the footwork, especially when you're working around the crease. We've been seeing great back cuts, good handles. I mean, these are the sorts of plays you expect to see, college players making. So it's no surprise that these teams are playing for championship right now. Both these teams have a ton of talent and some really impressive players.
Now the Yellow Jackets from Long Island, Massalit from New England. As we pour through the 12 combined goals for the two teams that have gone a combined 10-0 in this tournament. Unfortunately, only one can be crowned champion. And in the next 20 minutes, we are sure to find out. Again, he's Chris Marshall. I'm Johnny Wincott. We appreciate you sticking with us on Lacrosse TV. The Yellow Jackets scored more goals than anybody in the three-game group stage, 37 of them. The 6, though, Not enough to have a lead here as we try and get you set for quarter number 3. The wind still swirling from right to left as these two teams will switch sides. The Yellow Jackets in yellow and Mass Elite in red.
Well, I think the exciting thing, about these games and going back and watching them in the future will be seeing these players playing at the next level. Had the opportunity to call some of the youth World Cup or cover those games and call some Adrenaline All-American games, and then seeing those players continue on the trajectory and get to the college and the professional ranks is always exciting. So I'm looking forward to seeing these players as they progress into their careers, because I think there's some names that you can circle on these rosters now who will be playing on Sundays, as they say.
On the bevy of talent we've already seen today through just 2 quarters, these are only girls at the 14U level just entering high school. And not unfamiliar territory for both the Yellow Jackets and Mass Elite when it comes to producing some of the best talent in the college landscape. Early whistle off the draw control, and we will do take 2. Again, it's running clock, so we are off and running here in the second half.
Well, and it's not really surprising when you get these clubs that produce a lot of high-level players consistently. I mean, there's no better recruiting tool than winning. And, steel sharpens steel. You get playing against good competition at practice, it makes you better during the game. So having a deep bench, having a lot of talented players is something that makes you better everywhere.
Well, the Yellow Jackets had controlled that first face-off. The turnover, though, forced by Mass Elite. We had a little bit of a run going there, sealed off those, and now the offense sets things up just a minute into this third quarter. Has sailed over the streaker. DeRoches is after it. He gets to it, but couldn't control it cleanly. But she was pushed from behind, so it will stay with Mass Elite.
And that's a good look. Pass was a little high, but head up from the passer, sees the cutter coming inside. You hit that pass, you got a good opportunity for a nice shot coming right down the middle. So the offenses are going through their progressions, they're going through their rotations, and they're finding good looks.
Dimnaku zigzagging her way through, but it won't go. That may have had a piece of Johnson again.
And you look at changing the plane once again. That one just missed bar down, just over the top of the cage. So got the shot she wanted, just couldn't quite finish it.
Strong defense at the top of the point by the Yellow Jackets. And possibly an unsettled defense for Mass Elite. The team in yellow into the offensive third yet again, looking to break this 6-6 tie.
Well, fortunate that one got through. A bit of a dangerous pass there.
Natalie Yu at her office at X already saw an impressive goal by her in the first half.
I expect to see both of these teams tighten up here a little bit in the second half. I mean, 0-0. You're going in. Whoever wins this half wins the game. And so, both of these teams, working through their offensive progressions, looking for the best shot.
Pass sailed high to the point. Yellow Jackets look to salvage at the line, and it appears as if they will.
Yeah, look like an offside call there going against Mass Elite.
Interior feed, got to the target. No shot taken. Good interior defense by Mass Elite.
Yeah, excellent recovery there to make sure she wasn't able to get the shot off, because that was a nice look inside.
I feel like for most of the first half, really good flow with this game. Facet of having the running clock, you got to get going. Not too many stoppages. Not a whole lot of physical play. Again, these teams playing their 6th game in fewer than 2 days. Turning, shooting, and scoring. It's a rip job for the Yellow Jackets. And they have taken their 3rd lead of the afternoon, make it 7-6.
That's a goal that's scored at practice. You get to your spot, you turn. It's essentially a no-look pass. You find the cutter. She's at her spot. She turns, puts that in the back of the net. She's not looking. She's not thinking about where that shot's going. She already knows where it's going. And she puts it there on the near side. That is a goal that's scored at practice. I bet she's taken that shot 1,000 times. That's a really nice look.
And more variety in goal scoring this afternoon here in the 14U championship game. This one comes from Fabiana Gallagher. And another beauty for the Yellow Jackets. Every draw control, more important than the last one. I mean, this one is controlled by Massalit. Emily Regan taking a shot. Goes wide along the right side, backed up by Massalit in the form of Lydia Kilty.
Well, that's one of the things that's nice about the the women's field layout. There's more markings around the goal, so it's easier to find your North Star, find your spots when you're able to continually get to the same spot and take the shot and make the practice pay off in the games. So you know exactly where you are, but it's good awareness.
Zoe Marr, number 46 on the restart from the back 10. Rotation continues counterclockwise for Massalit. Halfway through quarter number 3.
Double, somebody's open. Right there in the middle.
Francie Ames survived. Now it's Sadie Nash's turn through the double team. Ball squirts free, kept alive here by Massalit. Now into the cross of Emily Regan.
Interesting to see Yellow Jackets go to a little bit of a different defensive set here. They're going high pressure. Maybe by design, trying to throw a wrench into what Massalit's been doing on offense, adjustment they made at halftime. But certainly, especially when the ball's up top, playing more aggressively on the quick doubles.
Loose ball recovered at the end line yet again by Massalit.
I mean, you're counting on the extra pressure, forcing the offensive players into making mistakes. But Massalit has done a really good job of pushing off that pressure and making good looks. They just haven't turned it into a solid goal-scoring opportunity.
Regan goes down. Yellow Jackets thought they had finally forced the turnover. Instead, that lengthy possession is going to continue. In the cross again of Francie Ames, number 4. Regan and Ames play pass, 15 meters out. Regan recovered after dropping, and again backs it out to the 12-meter.
And that's a nice defensive play. Got a little bit of contact. She was trying to switch hands, drop the ball. I mean, that would have been a pretty good shooting opportunity had she kept it in her cross.
Yellow Jackets doing a good job of keeping everything at the exterior. Down to 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Loose ball, Yellow Jackets finally on top of it. Addison Kelly.
That's tough ground ball through traffic. That's big time play.
So again, a long time to have possession for the Massalit offense. Yellow Jackets survive. Now their turn headed right. 2:35 remaining third quarter. And just one goal in this third quarter. It belongs to the Yellow Jackets. And Fabiana Gallagher, things have certainly tightened up in the third set of 10 minutes.
Yeah, and that's to be expected. I mean, this is where the pressure really comes in. This is where your best players come through and shine. This is a big opportunity. And you see Yellow Jackets pulling it out a little bit now. They went for the quick shot, and if you can score there, great. It obviously doubles your lead, but quite a bit of defense, especially high pressure defense, played on the other side.
Whistle. Offensive possession's going to stay alive here for the Yellow Jackets. Molly Highland will have a good look. Final 100 seconds, third quarter. Highland just waiting for the okay. Toward goal, she scores. It is a 2-goal lead for the Yellow Jackets, 8-6. With fewer than 90 seconds to play in the third quarter, the way this game has gone, 2 goals feels like a lot now.
Yeah, and that's a really important one, especially at this point in the quarter. Right at the end of the quarter, there isn't going to be a whole lot of time to get anything going. But again, we've seen both teams score in the final 5 seconds of the first 2 quarters. So certainly time for Mass Elite to do something. But that's a big goal. And you look at a little bit of the earlier shot to be able to create more angle for yourself. I mean, that's just excellent work.
Well, the Yellow Jackets now 45 seconds away from blanking Mass Elite here in the third quarter. That after, of course, a 6-6 tie as we head into the break. Tim Naku catches the draw control swiftly into the offensive third. 30 seconds, plenty of time to get something done, but she drops it with defense coming from behind. The turnover is forced. So safely into the goaltender's crease of Johnston. And we'll see if the Yellow Jackets decide to push forward in the final 15 or take it into the fourth quarter at 8-6. And that is now Morgan Krinsky, who is protecting the net for the Yellow Jackets here in the second half.
Well, I think too, if you're Mass Elite, you got to make sure that you're sticking with your game plan and that you're not trying to do too much individually. Obviously, you've got really good individual players, but we're seeing both of these teams score when they're playing good team lacrosse, and so that's what you need to get back to, and that's certainly the conversation I'm having during this break.
Both goals in the third quarter belong to the Yellow Jackets. We hope you're enjoying the action today for the 2024 USA Lacrosse Nationals at DE Turf. When thinking of your next summer vacation or road trip, we hope you turn moments into memories by visiting pristine beaches, enjoying scenic outdoor activities, and savory dining throughout our state. Experience endless discoveries in Delaware and begin your next journey at visitdelaware.com. The journey for these two teams here in Delaware comes to an end in 10 minutes. It's an 8-6 advantage for the Yellow Jackets over Mass Elite. This is the 14U championship game. Glad you're with us on a Wednesday afternoon. He's Chris Marshall. I'm Johnny Wincott. It was 6-6 at the break. Both goals in that third quarter went to the Yellow Jackets. Mass Elite looks to get back on the board. They'll need to win the quarter in a big way to win the game.
Well, and you break down the first half. They're certainly more than capable of scoring 3 goals here in the final frame. I think you really got to prevent the Yellow Jackets from extending this lead. They've had good success in the draw circle, so I think just go back to their team offense, find those cutters, and then give themselves an opportunity to score here. But I think in any game when there's this much on the line, it's easy to go out there and try and play a little bit of hero ball, especially if you're a great player. But this is when you really need to rely on the plays, on the team, and the rest of the things that got you here.
Yellow Jackets under the guidance of Chad Bichette, Albert alone, looking to remain unblemished and hoist the trophy at 6-0. They're 10 minutes away from doing it. Catherine McCool to the center circle for Mass Elite, the West Roxbury native against Jordan Razga. Couple of bodies hitting the deck, and it will go with Mass Elite moving from left to right. The team in red, they have not trailed by more than 2 in this 14U championship.
And nice patience there. Let's see the call is here. She's going to get the ball back to Ames. It looked like she had a little bit of a lane there, but opted to pull it out. I think that's the right decision. And again, we can Yellow Jackets
into the corner.
Super heavy on adjacents.
More strong defense at the perimeter by the Yellow Jackets. And again, whatever they did in the third quarter, well, you want to replicate that blueprint, and they failed to allow a goal.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mass Elite's doing a decent job with the pressure. I think if you're Yellow Jackets, you got to be careful you don't burn out. But the pressure is working.
Mass Elite outside the crease, looking for a lane, the shot, the goal. It's the first of the second half for the team from Massachusetts. And if it stands, it's an 8-7 game.
I think Sadie Nash, she comes up, feels the pressure, but also finds the space. She gets by that first defender, and then, able to take that extra step, little bit of a jump shot to get it over the top of the goalie and find the back of the net. But excellent composure in tight, in traffic, put that one in the net.
Oh, we knew that next goal was going to be the important one heading into this fourth quarter. Obviously 8-7, a little different from 9-6. We still have not had more than a 2-goal lead in this game. And a swift draw control victory for McCool. Still going. Catherine McCool. Finally angled to the right. She dishes. And the whistle comes as the ball goes into the cross of Taylor Thompson. So a free position opportunity forthcoming. And Catherine McCool certainly earned it.
Yeah, this is a good spot, dangerous spot.
McCool v. Krinsky. McCool in on goal. It will not go. Still loose just outside of the crease. They vie for possession. McCool again sailed it over the top of the crossbar. She found the loose ball, but sailed it over the cage.
Yeah, and you'd love to see that. Obviously a big-time save to keep that one out of the back of the net, but not giving up on the play, able to collect that ground ball and get another dangerous shot off. That's good work from McCool. I mean, you'd like to see it hit the back of the net, but that's all you can do but score on that one.
Already better scoring chances in this fourth quarter than all the third quarter for Massillon. Through the car wash, and again to the near side, it's Thompson. Off-ball whistle, still going to stay with Massillon.
You got to be a little cognizant of the clock, but there's still plenty of time. I mean, you really want to make sure you get this next one.
Millie Bradley, center pointing, number 14, lays it back. Final 6+ minutes here in the fourth quarter. Well, the only two remaining unblemished teams with 5 wins in a 30-hour span. Who will get a 6th?
When you see Ames, and that was exactly what I was looking for. I mean, Ames was doing a good job of kind of floating around that space above the 8.
McCool recovers and scores. Catherine McCool is shiny on the spot again. This time she finds a loose ball and pots it home. We are tied 8-8 with 5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter.
Players like that are so important to success of teams. I mean, you come through the traffic, you get the ground ball, you get the shot on the goal, you find the back of the net. I mean, scores both goals to tie this up in the fourth quarter. I mean, she's gamer.
We go back to the center circle, exactly half the time gone by in the fourth quarter. Look like Dimnaku. Can she recover? He does indeed. Massillon emerges. Emily Regan leading the charge with teammates ahead. Here is Kilty for the lead. She scores!
It's good awareness. I mean, you wonder a little bit if the high pressure defense, while it was successful, especially for about 15 minutes, has taken enough out of these defenders because we're not seeing as quick a move on the slide on the help defense, and obviously keeping them spread out is a strategic move there from the attacker at the bottom. But that's excellent work.
Multi-goal effort in the championship game for Lydia Kilty. And it's 3 consecutive by Massillon. So again, a 6-6 game at halftime. Yellow Jackets get 2 goals in the third. So far, Massillon gets 3 goals here in the fourth. Another important draw control. The combination of Kilty and Dimnaku are after it, and they are awarded the draw control victory.
If I'm Mass Elite, I'm taking as much time off the clock here as I can. I mean, you'd love to get another goal, but I mean, I want to take at least 90 seconds off here. I mean, no less than a minute.
And it appears that Margot Spatola, Catherine McDonough's group are in no rush. This is Keelty, number 40, controlling, one of the stars of this 14U championship game. Hounded in the corner, DeRoches. As you noted, Chris, this team content now with ticking away at some of this clock.
All right, timeout. That's a heads-up timeout.
And with 2:50 to play, yeah, both teams will only get one opportunity at a timeout. They'll take one here. So Mass Elite leading 9-8 over the Yellow Jackets. Again, this is our 14U championship game, our first of our doubleheader championship action. Our 15U title game after this one between Heroes Lacrosse Green and another Yellow Jackets team, that one headed by Stadler.
And I think conversation, you know, having on the sideline with Mass Elite is just be certain about your passes. This is not the time of the game to be lazy. You know, make sure you're stepping into your passes. You know where they're going. You're putting it in a place where only your player can catch it. So certainly make sure that you're doing the little things, the little fundamental things to make sure that your passes are online. And I think Yellow Jackets, I mean, I expect them to go back to the high pressure defense, quick doubles, high pressure on adjacents, and see if they can get a takeaway here. Obviously, with a little bit of a break, you grab some water, and, you know, with just 3 minutes left on the clock, you want to, you know, think that you can push through some of the fatigue and really work hard to try and come away with the trophy. But I expect to see them come out in another high pressure set.
So 2:55 now on the clock. Every second counts. And again, other than our timeouts, each team gets an opportunity to call one. The clock's going to keep ticking. Yellow Jackets have not scored here in the fourth quarter after Mass Elite failed to score in the third quarter. Mass Elite will have possession. And obviously the Yellow Jackets will be buzzing, looking to force a turnover, find that tying goal.
And Mass Elite's able to take like another minute or so off the clock here, and there's a stoppage, and they're able to get through some of the pressure defense if that's what they go with. I might call a defensive timeout and be able to give the defense another rest, maybe cycle in some other players to continue that high pressure. But I mean, I expect them to be really chasing the ball here, and you see the double on the ball immediately. Yeah, the goalie out of the cage as well.
Officials just looking to get things sorted. Sadie Nash will have the unenviable task of this restart. You know the Yellow Jackets will be swarming immediately. Here comes the double in the near side corner to Nash. Thompson nearby for help. Nash spins through the car wash, comes out a little cleaner on the other side, the empty net. She decides not to shoot, and instead gets bumped into. Contact came from Hagopian. And again, precious seconds ticking away here with the net empty.
Yeah, gotta have this one.
And Sadie Nash has made it a 2-goal advantage for Mass Elite with just over 2 minutes to play.
And you know that's the risk you run into when you pull the goalie. I agree with the call. You know, I mean, you want to go out there and play high pressure defense. I might have waited a little longer and gone with just the high pressure on the adjacents. But either way, great run by this Mass Elite squad here in the final frame.
4 consecutive for the stellar team from New England. And 100 seconds remaining. Now a 2-goal cushion. And another critical draw control coming up here. Yellow Jackets got it, they needed it. But it's dropped. And Mass Elite now 80 seconds away from hoisting the trophy. And they are into the offensive third.
Yeah, might have liked to have seen a timeout there as soon as she got into a little bit of trouble. Try and set your offense up. You know you needed 2 goals.
Down goes McCool. Mass Elite certainly content with that. Loose ball bounces through the crease. Yellow Jackets have wrestled possession back with 1 minute to play.
Got to move quickly here.
Some space down the seam, they score.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you needed. I mean, you didn't have time to start going into the offense. You had to go straight to the cage. You can go into the offense a little bit if you get a possession shot, but finding the back of the net there was extremely important.
I'm not sure that'll be a goal. Looks like a timeout may have come first by the Yellow Jackets. 39 seconds showing. And at the moment, we believe still a 10-8 score. You saw some hands on heads after that ball went in. That may have been because the tally came after the timeout.
Brutal. I've been on both sides of that. That's tough. Coming into that play, I'm from the coach, and it's like anything else. You go out there and you take a shot, and the coach is like, no, until it goes in. It's hard to question that decision, because it's like you need 2 goals and you want to get your best opportunity out there, but it's tough to see one come off the board like that.
Oh, we know the 37 goals in the 3 games in the group stage. They swept the blue division. But now they need 2 in the next 30 against, well, one of the other best teams at this 14U level. Today in the quarterfinals and the semifinals. Mass Jackets coasted with a 6-goal victory and a 4-goal victory. And the way things are trending now, Mass Elite, they could have 3 1-goal wins today.
Wonder maybe some gamesmanship coming in. They need to score in the next 10 seconds, and they need to grab the ball and take it to the center.
Final 30. Yellow Jackets backed up by the Yellow Jackets. .1 seconds remain. Yellow Jack with the free position opportunity straight on. They need it, and they won't get it. Take 2. Now with 14 seconds to play.
Like to see a
So we'll try it again. 15 seconds to go. 10.9 seconds remain. 1 goal. If they could stave off the yellow victories today. Mass Elite controls off the draw. They will take it into the offensive third, the final second away. And Mass Elite at the 14U division are the USA Lacrosse Youth National Champions.